In this tip, I'm going to talk a little bit about design placement. Now, you may wonder what that's all about. Well, sometimes you want to place things side by side. And I'm just going to show you some quick tricks in order to do that. And you're going to use your grid in order to see everything that you want. I'm just going to click away from my words here. So you'll see 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. I always like to place things at the 1, 1 mark. So we're going to play with some shapes here. I'm going to grab a square and let me just shut this. We're going to play with 4 squares here. Now I'm going to make this square pink and I'm going to make 3 copies of it. There we go. And I'm going to change each one to a different color. And that is so that we can see what's going on with it. One this color, we'll make one orange, and then I'll come up here and I'll make this one a different color as well. Let's go nice blue with this one. Now, what you have to do initially is take your initial design piece, and it doesn't matter what it is. Always look at your measurements here. This is width 2 and height 2. So we know this is a 2 by 2 square. Now we want to line things up so that we have these squares coming in together and they're going to touch and they're going to become a design, but you want them in a certain order and a certain color. Well, there is nothing on here. If I selected this one and this one, if I came here to align, I can align them to the left. That is not a problem. The biggest problem is, how do I get to this gap so everything nestles together? Well, here is where we are going to use our positioning. Now, this first one, we've placed at 1 and 1. We always know that, and we know the object is 2 inches wide. So that means that I want this next square to be 1 down and 3 over. So we want to have it 3 over, so I'll make that a 3. Hit my tab key, and we know we want it 1 down. Now this has perfect placement. Now I want to take this next one. We know we want it at 3 for our Y and 1 for our X. Well, notice the X is already at 1. We just have to change our Y to 3, and that is going to nestle in here. Now this next one has the same issue. This is going to be 3 down and 3 over. So what we want to do, and make sure I click on it first, let's make my X3, hit my tab, and on my Y3, and now I have perfect placement. So let me just grab these together, and I'm just going to group them, and that means that I can move them around and that I know they're perfectly placed together. Now I use this quite often. You know, when you come up here, you're just going to go to my 1, tab 1, and I know they're in place. So what if we brought in another shape and we want it to fit in with here? So let's grab a heart. It's going to come on top. I'm going to make that heart red. Now, I have placed my squares already, so all I need to do, because I've grouped my squares as well, is grab all of these pieces and I can align them center. And I know that these will fit appropriately with each. Now, these are in a group. I can then, if I wish, cut out the heart in the center and still have the different pieces, but I would have to cut them out one at a time. So that is just a little bit on design placement, and I hope you got a lot from this tip.